Welcome to Happy Hour Holidays, your go-to podcast for business, entrepreneurship, and life stories. We want you to go out there and make your dreams come true. I'm your host every single week, Manny Fresh. We got the resume, Sean Fabre, and then our special guest today, we got Cynthia Plunkett. Did I say it right?
Plunkett.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she specializes in digital marketing, and she is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for coming in today, Cynthia.
And I want to mention that she is also a fellow Sickles Grifner Class of 07. Shout out 07.
Let's go.
My brother was 06.
06, you know.
Yeah.
That seems like so far, like so
Fuck
long
yeah.
ago.
Guys, when you start to say, like, it's been so many years since I was in high school, we're like, don't even mention it anymore.
But it's so funny. We talk to anybody else and they're like, guys, you guys aren't even old. You're only in your mid-30s. You're still young. But somehow I feel old.
It does.
You know?
It's
It
the
does.
reality of things.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
know.
true.
Yeah, I know.
So, Cynthia, you did, and just to get on the personal side of things and not so much the marketing side of things,
Yeah.
just in the beginning, you did a cross-country road trip through, 25 states
That's
for
right.
4 months,
That's
bought a
right.
national park pass.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? What exactly did you do?
Oh, man. Guys.
And what was the reason for
Okay,
that, if
yes.
anything?
And
That's
I
a
want to know
great way
how
to
she
say-
was able to walk away for 4 months from civilization and do it, man. I could never do that.
That's wild. Right
Major balancing act. The impetus was just this craving. I never felt like I needed to see the road before.
Yeah.
Just this seeking independence and quietness. I wanted it to be a solo trip experience as much as
Oh, you did it
solo.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I did meet up with a lot of friends across the entire country, though. Phenomenal. But lots more hotels and Airbnbs than anything. And just seeking that sense of just alone time and really just a little bit of growth and finding just more, just deeper conversations with myself. Lots of podcasts, lots of listening, lots of learning. That was 25 states I crossed. And also a couple Canadian provinces. So I dipped into there a couple times too.
So it was like your favorite state.
Oh, I got some favorites. I get
she's
to ask
nothing
that a
beats
lot.
Florida, though.
Florida's great,
Yeah.
but leaving was even better.
And you left from Tampa, I'm assuming?
That's right, Tampa.
What kind of car, by the way?
Jeep Wrangler X.
Damn, so 15 miles to the gallon.
It was rough,
For
but
4 fucking
I
months.
planned it. You know, you got to know your gas prices ahead of time.
Yeah.
Jeep Wrangler X it is what it is. That was
Was
part
your
of the cost.
Yeah.
Part of the cost.
Your budget was like, what, 5 G's for gas or something?
It wasn't that high, but it was a couple $1,000
Oh, that's still not bad.
for a
dude.
few months.
Yeah.
Jeep Wrangler X in 07 in great condition. I ended up putting the soft top that was on it. I put a hard top on it. It's just, not as loud.
Yeah.
It just feels a little safer even. But I started from Florida and went through the flyover states
Yeah, I'm not sure what those are.
purposefully. That's like avoiding Texas.
Oh, okay.
Like just going all the way around Texas, all of the states around like north of it.
Like Mississippi, Alabama, then you went up to like maybe Tennessee.
Avoided
Iowa.
Mississippi, so it was like Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, like Kansas, Colorado, and then dipping back south to like Utah, Arizona, and then going west, and then hitting California.
And then you probably went up the coast.
That's right. So my intention was I was really looking forward to the west. So I didn't want to do the California coastline. Instead, I actually went into the mountains of California. That was my favorite state. Oh my God,
The Rocky Mountains, right?
No,
They are the Rocky Mountains.
no, that's in Colorado.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, now I'm blanking on the mountains there, the mountain range. But California, these spoiled brats, they have everything.
Beach.
California,
ocean,
the
the
beaches, the
mountains,
ocean,
yeah.
cliffside views, incredible national parks,
Oh,
even the desert, even further south.
Oh.
I got to see the Joshua Tree National Park, got to see Sequoia National Park, Yosemite National Park, as many as I could dip into. There's so many more there, but I decided to stay on the mountain range side, and it was just phenomenal, beautiful around May, June. perfect, crisp weather, cool air, sun is on your face. And it is the most enjoyable time of year to go out west. So it was beautiful.
I think that, I mean, we've done some road trips, and I feel like, you come up with ideas, and it is a lot of growth within yourself when you do trips. It's something about being in a different
Well,
place.
there's nothing else to fucking do but think, man.
Lots of thinking.
Think about it. I mean, you're driving. Because I remember, this wasn't on air, but me and my brother went to Arizona, and we left from Tampa. We took his Benz and we drove. It took 2 days. So we stopped off in Louisiana and slept there. Stopped off in San Antonio. We were going to stay there. But like you said, I wanted to just drive through because I wanted to get to Arizona.
Yeah.
And like 20 hours straight.
Oh, my God.
Well, maybe not 12, maybe 12 hours straight. He was sleeping. We were with a buddy of ours, Ray.
You're that guy in the road trip?
No, he was driving.
I drove a lot.
Okay.
He drove a lot. So I'm driving through literally the prairies of Texas, and there's nothing to look at. It is super fucking boring.
That's why I avoided it.
And it was a lot of monsters. I can tell you that.
Monsters? Do tell.
Like monsters, Monster Energy drinks.
Oh, I was like, scary monsters?
No,
like
not
at
like
night?
that. Not like that. But what you see is I mean, Texas is the longest drive we've ever done. I can tell you that.
Now
but we did make it. We made it to New Mexico, and at that point, I wasn't driving anymore because once we pass El Paso, I pull over. I start swerving just from tiredness, and I'm like, "Bro, you gotta drive." And I go to sleep. It's nighttime. I've never seen the desert in my life. I wake up to the sunrise in this what looks like Mars, foreign land, and to me, that was the coolest aspect of the road trip was seeing something you've never seen before.
Completely open, desolate area.
Well, I mean, it's desolate, but there's, the red mountains out there.
Yes.
It looks super cool, and they pop out of nowhere.
It's beautiful out west. It really is. I would try to move out west, but I have too much family here that I would miss them. So it's great to visit.
So then you have to drive all the way to the West Coast, or not have to, you wanted to, which
So
means you got to drive home.
That's right. And that was the halfway point by the time I was in Northern California, basically. Getting there. Favorite part was in California, that in the California Nevada border was Lake Tahoe.
Did you go to Alaska?
No, I didn't go to Alaska. That was too far. I didn't want to do it. Lake Tahoe, the same feeling. It was like Memorial Day weekend last year. Summer is erupting. Everyone's in a great mood. Again, perfect weather. Taking a bike ride along Lake Tahoe. Took a little ferry ride. You're sipping perfectly crisp wine, enjoying the views. Tourists are just in great moods, and it was a wonderful feeling.
When you were doing this stuff?
In the places you were allowed to buy, I bought. In Scottsdale, I had a good time.
Did you go to Vegas?
No, didn't care for it. No,
Damn, but the Hoover Dam is right there.
Yeah, I mean, this country has so many incredible places. Yeah. That's what I realized. You can't see it all.
Yeah.
You just can't. And you have to be okay with just saying, next time. You could be on the road for months, if not years, to see this amazing country. We have so much to offer, and I implore anyone to consider a road trip to just try it. Do it.
Did you make friends when you were at these places? Because you were by yourself. You didn't just spend all your time by yourself, right?
Right. And I got to lay it out. I was working full time during it, which is probably the most aggressive thing about this. Working full time remotely was dedicating 9 to 5, sitting down on the computer, and then timing things out when I could drive and in what places I wanted to stay. Some states were like, let me just get out of here. Kansas? Just let me get out of here.
Let me get in Kansas.
That's right. That's right. That's a good question. That's exactly why I didn't stay. And so then the weekends that I wanted to stay longer, there were times to meet people. I was intentional in some places. The right cities I felt like were comfortable enough, inclusive of Lake Tahoe area, like incredible people from California all over there just visiting, so friendly. I made some cool friends, like not many. I think the adventure was more of a solo place. But I also got to meet up with friends who had their friends in the area, and I got to meet more people that way too.
I wonder, are you still in contact with those people that you did meet?
On social.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, just like any travel friends I make abroad. It's usually through social channels and like, just seeing them travel, there's a reason to connect. Yeah. But otherwise, like that's our connection.
You seem like a very analytical person. Coming from your marketing background, I know that you probably know the exact mileage you drove.
It's funny you say that. I actually have a Google spreadsheet that I track this on. So thanks for asking. I hit approximately like 8,000 miles.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it'd be.
Yeah. To go just to hit California, it's about 2,000.
Yeah.
So then I went up through California, made it all the way to Vancouver, Canada, across over to Calgary, dipped back into the northern states, made it all the way to Maine, and then back down to Florida.
Holy shit.
So it was a big like perimeter run.
That's
is what I was looking to do. Yeah.
Did you go to Niagara Falls?
Already been there, didn't go.
No.
Yep. Probably the best drive. Let me paint the picture.
You're good at painting the pictures.
Let's everyone close your eyes. The Canadian Rockies. You think, okay, the Rockies we have in the States is just killer, like Colorado views. It's just stunning. The Canadian Rockies, I swear they're bigger. And just driving through, again, you've got great music, perfect blue skies. The mountains are these dark, jagged, intense formations with this trickle of snow-capped views. It's perfect. And so it's this sense of solitude that you have out there too, with like no reason to stop, that it's your complete peace. And so that was definitely one of the better drives too I had on the trip, part of the West Coast.
Did you get, I'm sure you must have gotten a flat tire once.
No flat tire, thankfully.
8,000 miles, not one.
I did have 2 car troubles.
What were those?
I was in Lake Tahoe, stayed there 2 weeks. Oh, woe is me to stay in Tahoe.
Sounds like you want to move there.
It was nice. I want to go back in the snow. I'd love to ski out there. Just for a week, I was starting to hear when I would make a right turn, even just like off a ramp of a highway, the right front end of the right end of the car was just like this jarring, jagged shaking. I would have the little track light go off and then it would correct itself until I was like, I should look into this. This isn't right. Went into the body shop or the car shop and I learned what a right hub assembly is. And so that was replaced plus the sensor. $500 later, we're back on the road, thankfully.
That's not too bad.
Well,
great quick fix. Then I'm all the way on the East Coast and I'm leaving New York. Hands down, the worst roads in the U.S.
Really? Oh my God.
I mean,
terrible.
Shit, heavily traveled, you know?
Terrible. I don't know where all their tax dollars go, but it is not the roads. I think it was those really terrible potholes I was just hitting, trying to get out through Jersey, that all of a sudden, apparently I was in a rough area through Jersey, it's broad daylight, 11 a.m. All of a sudden, I'm in a Jeep Wrangler, and any Jeep listeners might know this, but this thing starts to shake. And I'm hitting 55 miles an hour, and it is like trembling shake. It's not just like I'm on a bad road. So I decrease miles per hour, slow down again. Okay, let's just inch back into this. And it happens again once I hit 55. Quickly on my phone, pull up on Google Maps a mechanic. I pull right off into this tiny little town. Thankfully, this guy was super available, and he's like, all right, let's go for a drive. Let's go test it out. Okay, sure, let's go. Get right back up, and he's like, yep, you have the Jeep death wobble. And I was like, no, not the death wobble.
It's going to cost you $10,000.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, it's a known thing in the Jeep community for any Jeeps older than like an '08. So mine's an '07. Damn, and I'm like, shit. Fuck. So it happened. It's happening to me now in the middle of the road trip. And I had intended to getting to Baltimore where my sister was. So I was like, I just got to make it there. Can I just make it there? Like, he's like, you can, but maybe at 45 miles an hour.
Fuck.
All right, I'm going because I'm not stopping. So I was like, I got to go. I made it to Baltimore the next day. Thankfully, it was another quick fix.
What was it?
Wheel alignment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was it? That's the death wobble?
But the death wobble is usually your
Sway bars?
transmission.
Oh, shoot.
Whatever bolt is loose and something, the whole thing can rattle. So someone has to go in and spend a lot of time and money, disassemble this thing, find that loose bolt, and then I don't know. So thankfully I avoided that, and $100 later I was back on the road. Okay.
That's a great fix.
Yeah.
I mean, my truck, I have a lifted truck, and I could tell you it shakes at 55 and over like crazy. It's not at the alignment. It's my whole entire lift kit on the right side has to be reassembled, or actually just new parts. And also the transmission mounts have to be engine and transmission mounts. I got quoted $2,500. So yeah, having a Jeep and having a lifted truck fucking suck.
It's true. I am working with just your bare bones Jeep. Like there's nothing lifted, or like I think I like replaced the lights myself once. So I was like, that's it.
How long ago was this, Cynthia?
This was last year in 2024.
This is when you did the whole road trip?
Yeah.
Oh,
From
shoot.
like
So
April to August.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. I highly recommend it. I mean, these are the things that I like to share to anyone considering a road trip.
Travel tips. Let's hear
Travel
them.
tips.
Travel tips.
All right. It's like the first and foremost, do it if you're ready and you're like mentally interested or curious about it. There's so many reasons to postpone it. You're in a comfortable place, most likely. You have a place that you're currently living in, and you have a car. So you could go anytime, but there's a lot of reasons not to do it. As a planner and yes, an analytical person, like just being maybe even just over prepared, for me, it started with a spreadsheet. And it's like, I know my limitations in my case are working full time. So I have a dedicated time I need to be sitting at the computer, and I have X amount of time I can be on the road. And my hard and fast rule for the road trip was no night driving.
Oh,
Single
really? I thought that's when
female
you would
on the
drive.
road.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, it was tough. So let's say most of the East Coast hours, I could drive maybe like 2 hours at a time after work. Let's say you get off at 5 every time, 5 o'clock Eastern. So about 2 hours or so, the sun is setting. You know, it's summertime hours. Days are a little longer. But as I kept going west, I would get off work earlier, and then I would have even more time before the sunset. So I'm able to drive a little further once I'm out west, because I'm wrapping up work now at 2 p.m. out in California. So I've got more time to like explore and maybe cover more ground. But my planning was in a spreadsheet as just what are some cities I also want to see. So, okay, from Tampa to Gainesville, from Gainesville, all right, I'm going to use this weekend to get to Atlanta. So there's my 5-hour drive, and then bucket it that way. So that was one aspect of planning a road trip that I would say try to map some of it out, with a big disclaimer: don't plan everything out. Do not leave room for error. Leave room to just say, you know what, I love it here, or I have car troubles, I need to stay, or I want to stay. Things like that. I would say that was on the road too. There's always a hotel.
Yeah.
There's always a hotel. I booked a lot of places the day before. It's like, all right,
motels.
Ooh, do I have a story? I forgot about this. I thought I could brave a Motel 6 in Kansas.
She hates this state. She hates this state.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Nope. It was $50. And I was like, oh, I'm going to save so much money. I'm so frugal. Look at me. And walked right in. It reeked like cigarettes. The guy at the counter is sketch. He takes me to my room. I pass another room with the door wide open. It smells like food. I get in and I'm like, is this survivable? Yes. You can live through this.
Was there cockroaches?
There were stains. There were things broken. There was a bug, like a dead bug, in the bathroom.
Bed
I
bugs.
and you don't know exactly.
Bed bugs.
I checked a lot every time I would go into hotels. So I go down to the front desk guy. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't stay here. I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. I used all the trigger words. I was like, I gotta go. And I spent $100 more to go to like just a kind of like your middle tier,
Yeah.
not even a high tier, whatever they had in Kansas
Probably a
available.
Hampton Inn.
Did he give you?
Something like
Did he
that,
give you your
yeah.
money back?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, he was.
Oh,
always
that's nice then.
It was good.
Yeah, because
It
he
was
could have been
good.
like, nah.
Yeah. And if he did it, $50
Yeah,
for a
that's
lesson
all right.
learned,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, not many motels.
So I'm assuming there had to have been just one night where you had to sleep in your car.
No, sir.
Damn, she
No,
planned it out.
sir.
All the way
Here's
through.
a difference. Look at you guys compared to me in size.
Mhm.
Y'all can protect yourself
Yeah.
on the road at night. You're fine. Like the advice to any single female listening is you're still the single female in the room. There is still just, you have a worse off chance of, something happening to you in an unprotected space. So no car sleeping.
No?
It was like
did you have a gun or a knife or anything?
Great question. Did I carry? Did
Yeah.
I bring anything with me? Highly tempted to bring a weapon with
some
me.
states don't allow you to.
Exactly.
Not even pepper spray.
That
Pepper
is
spray
fine.
You could.
Oh, yeah.
But a gun. Did quick searches, all kinds
Yeah.
of forums with gun
Yeah.
owners and like kind of
You
expressing.
could go to jail in some states just by having one in your car because there's no reciprocity in gun laws between states.
That's right.
There are some states that have reciprocity, but not a lot of them do.
And every state is different on their carry licenses
Yeah.
and where it can be in the vehicle. So if I have to have it disassembled, locked in a safe, in the truck, what is that doing for me for protection anymore?
Fingerprint.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
I'll be right, open
Sir,
the back.
please don't mug me yet.
Okay, you're gonna get this. I want to ask one question though because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know this one's gonna be a
Okay.
critical one.
Oh, God.
What did your Spanish parents say? Ay, mijita, tú estás loca. You're crazy by yourself. You know what could happen to you?
Keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. Hasn't ended even yet. I was just thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, they must have been like, oh, tú estás loca.
You're right, man. You're right.
Right?
They were
It was like
mortified.
that,
They
right?
hated it. Well, yeah.
Every time before you left, it was probably same thing. Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Why don't you just go to Orlando?
Why don't you just fly?
Yeah, well,
Are you sure? Are you sure? Do you need to? But why? Why so long? Why are you sure? But it's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Just know you can always you can call me and I'll fly right and get you. It was like that.
That's
like
the
I'm gonna
mom talking
save
right
you.
there.
It was my mom.
Yeah.
It was for sure my mom.
Your dad was a little worried, or was it?
Proud and
did.
excited, but
Yeah,
certainly
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
got a check in. And in
Yeah.
fact, I had my phone, like find my phone on an iPhone,
Okay,
like
so
that's
so the
smart,
family
yeah.
knew where I was.
That's good.
And in fact, the stretch through Colorado, and I was dipping over to Arizona, lost service, and it was a long day. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
one of my favorite drives, actually, quiet and peace. 8-hour drive that I did. I lost service, and so my tracker went offline for a bit. I didn't make it to the hotel before sundown. It was like right as the sun was hitting or just past, so it was just getting dark. Page, Arizona is where I was getting. I had in my spreadsheet that was shared with my family where I was going in each city. I even had the hotels and Airbnbs. I had everything for a family member not to be worried that I'm going here. That because I was offline and it had been late, my mom calls the hotel.
And hold that thought right there. We will be right back with her story. We are all intrigued. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you to all the fans out there that listen to us. We'll be right back. All right, guys. And we're back with Happy Hour Holidays. And I know you were probably on the edge of your chair to what happens next. Cynthia, hit it.
My mom called the hotel to see if I had made it. Oh my gosh. It's like 8 p.m. I still don't really have great service. I have to connect to the hotel Wi-Fi. So I'm still like 30 minutes into checking in without connection. I finally see the missed messages, the missed voicemail. And then I'm just, yeah, guys, I made it. I'm fine. And I had to just dip back out and get some groceries. So I come back in. I'm talking to a front desk lady. And she's like, a lady called for you. I was like, oh. God, that was my mom. It wasn't more than beyond that. And I was like, Mommy, don't call. Like, what are you doing? So it was thoroughly embarrassing being a 35-year-old female. And you're like, thanks, Mom. I love you.
I mean, at the same time, that's also reassuring that your parents do actually care that,
100%.
hey, did she actually make it? Because
100%.
let's say you didn't make it. Now, hey, now they got real questions to answer right
Sean,
there.
are you a dad?
No.
Soon to be, maybe? Okay,
we're
because
trying.
I think you're getting. I think you got it. I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
These are the worries of a parent.
I mean, I could tell you this. I would not want to be stuck somewhere where I don't want to be.
Yeah.
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 Because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for honestly, your whole Excel with all the hotels, I mean, they
Yes.
honestly would have been panicking probably 20 times worse.
Yeah,
I
let's
think so.
let's get back to that Excel file.
Okay.
Well, what was the total?
First tab has the cities and the hours per city that I would take.
I just want to know the total cost.
I didn't do the total costs. No.
No, yes,
I mean, I can guess. Well, I can know.
Yes, you did.
All right. I know the total of every credit card monthly statement. So, so you could say the whole time everything was on the road, right? So I would say it was about $20K in expenses.
That's not bad.
For 4 months? I mean,
For
that's not
4 months.
Did you own a house?
No
Did you
mortgage.
rent?
No.
So then that was just 20.
It's just the road.
So you had
hotels,
nothing tying
food.
you to Tampa, essentially.
That's right.
So that's why
That
you're
was-
like, 4 months, your lease probably just ended or something like that.
I'm at home. Yep. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky, very
Oh.
lucky to be able to afford this. It's an expense. And the route I took
Not
was
too bad. That's $5K a month.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like being on
Not
the road.
horrible.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
like or your expenses here. Majority of the expenses were hotel costs.
Yeah.
And that was budgeted. And then gas. That's my second highest.
Why
Don't
is it
have
that
that
you
much.
stayed at Airbnb sometimes and not hotels the entire time? Is
Yeah.
there a
I
reason
mean,
for that? Because now the Airbnbs, you kind of have to research ahead of time, book them. The hotels, I guess you had to do the same thing there.
it was all at once at the same time, mostly based on my price point I wanted to spend, and then searching across different sites. A friend of mine hooked me up with a Marriott discount, so I was able to book Marriotts at a decent rate.
Oh, nice.
So I was checking Marriott, I was checking Hilton sites, and then I would go to booking.com, hotels.com, and then Airbnb.
Did you get an Amex Platinum?
I have a Chase Sapphire. Are we promoting cards?
No, no, we are not. But what I'm saying is like the MX Platinum is a travel card, so you get like 3 times points on hotel stays and things of that nature. So I mean, you could have literally gotten a lot of money back based
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Well, doesn't
whatever you
Chase
use.
Sapphire
I don't know.
as well?
I've
Chase-
never heard of
they've-
Chase Sapphire.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Chase
heard of
has,
it. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I would say their other I forgot the other I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred. There's a Chase Sapphire Reserve. That's the higher one that would be like
Is
the
it made
Amex.
for traveling?
There
Is what
are
I
some
guess what I'm getting at.
a higher points. Yeah, like 3 times the points per
Yeah,
travel.
exactly.
I would say yes. I would say, I mean, I got a lot of good points back from dining out expenses. So that was costly, but because I knew it was a long time, I didn't want to spend that much on money or on food
Yeah.
out, like restaurants. I carried a Yeti cooler. My Yeti cooler was sufficient for like the 5-hour road trip or the time span so that it could keep some of a couple meals cold. Quickly realized, by the way, let's talk about food and being healthy on the road. It's difficult and
Yeah,
you
it's
need
gotta
to
be.
plan. Not every hotel has a microwave. Not every hotel has a refrigerator. Like, what are you doing to eat like well enough to survive this? It's so taxing on the body being on the road for so long and working. So what are you doing to fuel yourself? Quickly learned about halfway that ham and cheese sandwiches for breakfast are just not going to cut it.
You need the Cuban bread.
Oh, I need the Cuban bread. And so it's like processed meats
Yeah, I know.
for weeks and weeks. Don't recommend it. On a pinch, yes, do it.
Well,
There's those things you have to
fruit.
balance.
Fruit, maybe.
That's right. Yes, Sean, fruit is good for you.
Yeah.
So I quickly I bought a couple just like plastic little Ziploc like container, like meal containers, and I was prepping salads with high protein, low carb. So I was eating sardines straight out of the can, right into
I
my
love sardines. Out of the
Sardines
can,
are great.
too. Yeah, I used to eat them all the time.
exactly.
Talking about with the bones in it and everything.
There's like teeny tiny bones. You could just like eat right through
It gives you a
it.
good crunch.
Yeah, okay. well,
Buy
sardines, that-
avocados, having tomatoes, having just like lemon for the dressing, being like high protein, low carb. And that was really sustainable for me. Affordable, going to grocery stores instead of just going out. I gained like 5 pounds on the road trip, but it's all gone now. It was just sitting so much, like, and just eating this way. You're not going to the gym very much. A lot of sedentary time.
That's not bad. 5 pounds for a whole road
I
trip
know.
for 4 months.
That's right.
Bro,
That's
you're
right.
not. You're not really the heaviest person in the world.
I'm not. So,
she's like, gained 5 whole
but
pounds,
5 is
guys.
frustrating. 5 is frustrating.
I didn't even think about eating it, but one of the
Mhm.
bigger ones is water because
Mhm.
you have to. You're driving for so long, you constantly have to have a supply of water.
Yeah.
Stopping at gas stations all the time. Are you getting like the big 1 gallon, or are you getting like you have a Yeti, something like this that just fits?
Space is important too. You
Yeah.
have a small space. So how many gallons of jugs do I want? And frankly, with all of the stuff we hear on the news with plastic,
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
micro-
microplastics. If
that.
it gets hot in the car, it's going
Exactly.
to ruin all the water that you just purchased.
thank you. So what did I do? It was as I go. It was an as I go, as needed basis. And I did have naturally some kind of thermos that I was using for water, but not a lot of space to carry a lot of water in jugs. So
Was
as
there
I
ever
went.
a long stretch of roadway where you're like, damn, I'm almost running out of gas and I can't find a gas station?
100%. But it was only a few times because I'm such a planner.
Is it on
It's like-
Route 66?
I didn't do Route 66
No?
actually on this one.
Oh,
I know exactly how many miles my tank has. You're doing this 100 times.
Yeah.
Like, you know
How
that
much?
it's like 300 miles.
exactly.
Actually, that's not
300?
bad
Pretty
at
much.
all, no?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean, that's.
I mean, a lot of people that fill up their tanks is like
Well,
350
I've got
or
a
whatever.
15-gallon tank. Maybe
Yeah.
some have 10, maybe
Oh,
some have
that's fine,
20,
yeah.
right? So that varies. So you got to know basic math for distance for your road trip. And so it's like, all right, should I fill up now or fill up at the halfway? Because there might not be anything in between that. So good planning, good foresight is crucial to not being stranded.
That's the part that I was sketched out about.
Yeah.
When we did the Nevada or from Arizona, it was just a desert. We literally saw
dude.
only one gas
We were going
station,
to Vegas,
and it was
yeah,
packed.
from Phoenix.
Yeah, and I mean that's
No,
like
we were
something-
driving on that road, bro, and there's like nothing.
No, there wasn't anything.
There was
and there
literally
was only
nothing.
one gas station for that whole
And it
time.
was like the
Yeah.
sketchiest fucking
Yeah.
gas station in the world.
Yeah.
Luckily, we filled up before. So I was like, well, it was like you said. I mean, it was just that thinking throughout that whole thing
Yeah.
was just awesome. Man.
You know, to plug to the females that are
We didn't even
considering
plan
this.
That was just
No,
spur of the
yeah.
moment.
Like, being prepared is also about being conscious of your safety if you're going to do this on your own.
Did you at least have a knife or something?
I had a couple different cans of mace.
Did you get bear mace?
I actually had a dog mace that a girlfriend in Vancouver just like pitched to me. She's like, I got an extra one. You need it? This would be great on humans. Yes, I'll take it. And regret not buying the bear mace when I was
Yeah, 'cause
a
if
girlfriend.
It could stop a bear. It could stop anything.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
A girlfriend in Wyoming offered it, and I should have taken her up on it. But bear mace is huge. It's like it's the size of a water bottle. So yes, I carried a
That
few
means you
little
got a
pieces.
lot of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
It'll go far. But I would say personal safety is something that what I've learned is I've taken some self-defense classes even ahead of the road trip. Just self-defense classes for females is not about how hard you could hit or where you can hit. It's about the first step is all about awareness and knowing in a sketchy place or circumstance, eyes up, hands available, like not on your phone and distracted. So being conscious of where are the situations that I'm most concerned about being on my own and potentially being attacked. Mine was the gas station. So that's my personal I think it's sketchy. There's always all kinds of characters. And so just being available, being present was the first step. Learning in my self-defense classes, plug to Weapon Brand. They're a local company here.
Plug what?
Weapon Brand.
That's what they're called.
That's what they're
Weapon
called.
Brand?
Weaponbrand.com. Yeah, they're
Check them
wonderful.
out, guys.
Check them out. Was like really critical to learn about, sure, some of the physical stuff. How are you going to do if someone's got a knife, someone's got a gun, where you can push them back. And essentially, critical step number one is how are you going to run away?
They
How are you
teach
getting
the
out?
The throat chop.
No.
That's literally
Kick in the crotch, scratch.
Thank you. It's true. Actually, it's
That's
a lot
the
of
first
tug,
thing
a
you
lot
should
of
do.
pull. It's a lot of, yes, it's anything
Kick through. That's literally what it is. Kick through.
It's anything to save your life.
Yeah.
Because this is someone
Eyes,
who has the
throat,
intention of
crotch.
hurting you and harming you in some way. Your number one priority is to get home back to your family and be safe.
Unless you had one of these.
Unless you had one of those. Excuse me, sir, one moment. Can I
Reassemble
I'll be right back.
it.
All right, come at me.
All
Real hard.
right, what you got?
That's what I would add to just the females listening to, or men too. I mean, y'all need to be aware. You can't be distracted on your phone either. So
Yeah, I don't own a phone.
How are the different cultures going through all the different states? Like, you know, you coming from Florida and you're looking, you know, you're driving through.
Is there a culture shock moment where you're like, holy fuck?
I would say, man, I think
Kansas.
Kansas.
probably Kansas. No, I'd say
You know
around.
how much corn they have out there?
They got a lot. Through like our northern, western states, you know, like your Montana, your Kansas, the Dakotas.
You went through the Dakotas?
One of them.
I heard there's nothing in North and South Dakota.
Not much. There's
There
Theodore
should've been Montana
Roosevelt
either, right?
National Park. I went. Montana was beautiful.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I dipped back into Montana and specifically nailed it to make it to Bozeman for 4th of July. That was the first time I really had that like, oh my God, awkward, I'm alone moment, because I went to a bar. It's 4th of July. Everyone's having a great time. And
Like, look at this Peruvian
just like,
over here.
I'm just on my phone like a loser. And I'm like, who do I talk to? I know nobody. And I just got a strong whiskey cocktail, held on to that, walked up, you know, everyone's dancing and hanging out. And I see a group that are having a great time. They're about my age. Hi, like, how are you guys doing? Awkwardly approached them. They welcomed me in and it was so much fun. But the culture of if anything, I went to a rodeo there for 4th and that was awesome. I snuck into it. Sorry, Montana.
Like riding horses or bulls?
Yeah, all of that. So the competition where they're riding bulls, there's a female competition where they like race the horse around the barrels. The barrel races, fun and entertaining. And what's nice to be around that, let's call it the Western culture. Gosh, they looked amazing. Like these men and women dressed to the nines for the rodeo, button ups, the flares, like
cowboy boots,
the best cowboy, all the hats.
Holy shit.
They look sharp, like all guys and girls, like dressed to the nines, and we're on like this dirt floor, like just like the rodeo. So I like seeing that a lot, and it's nice, but not too many variety of cultures across the U.S. I would just say you could just tell the differences in really just the status of wealth in different communities. In California, I have a family in a city just like Santa Clarita, which is like an hour north of LA.
Yeah.
Beautiful upscale area. And then sure enough, I recall my Kansas Motel 6 moment, and it's just like, wow, what a difference. So that was probably the biggest
Was there
difference.
any area that you should have never gone to? Like the one, your least favorite, you're like, damn, why the fuck did I even show up to this place? There's got to be one.
I got lucky, I think. When I pulled over for the wheel alignment issues, I didn't realize I was in a bad area of Jersey. It was the mechanic who's like, you got really lucky. You just found us. This is not a good
what was
area.
the city, though?
It's around Trenton, New Jersey. Yeah, I was around there.
Oh my God. I know that
He's
area
like-
too.
That's literally the ghetto.
And he's like, you're lucky. There's usually a bunch of characters right here standing in the corner. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad. But I was lucky throughout the whole trip. I don't think I was in a super
Not lucky.
dangerous.
I think you were aware of your surroundings.
That's right.
Right?
Thank you, Sean.
Situational awareness the entire time.
But
That's
I think
right.
planning it also helped out a tremendous amount,
Yeah.
not getting veering off into bad areas. Because
Yeah.
when you just do it off a whim, you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go to this. But
That's
having
true.
that whole planned trip.
much
Did
as
you
I
see any
could.
crashes when you are driving
I don't remember any, to be honest, that are notable.
that are notable?
Notable.
So you did see crashes?
Just some
I
minor
saw a
ones.
lot
She's
of
like,
cars
yes.
pulled
No,
over.
I mean like it happened in real time.
No.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
gosh, no.
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 All right, so we talked about your road trip. Let's transition into a little bit of a marketing discussion.
Let's
here.
do it.
So you and your brother own a marketing company?
No. My brother is older than me. Actually, same year as Manny, another Sickles.
I know Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis, shout
Dennis
out, man.
Plunkett, shout
Hope
out,
everything's doing good.
He owns a digital marketing agency. He's actually based in Gainesville. Jump 'em, plug to Jump 'em. They're a full service digital marketing agency, and I own my own. It's CP Marketing and Co. Based here in Tampa, offering similar services. I partner with him because he has the full stack of resources with in-house employees from web development, design, marketing, etc. That whenever I have more enterprise clients or opportunities come to me, I outsource and work with them on some of these bigger projects that me and my smaller team can't do. So my clients and who I serve have been B2C clients, more small businesses from local med spa to restaurants in the area, and a lot in healthcare too. I really like healthcare marketing. I've got I've
Brain fart.
Therapists. I've got mental health practitioners, and these are just small business owners that serve online too and in person. So they're looking for just that kind of online presence. That
What
we can
kind
help them.
of services do you provide them?
Yeah, for the most part, we focus on search engine optimization. That's SEO. So with SEO, that's just finding ways to improve your website so that if someone is searching for a service, we want your website to come up first for it, or at least the top page.
You're not keyword flooding, I'm assuming.
That's right. No, we got to be strategic. We got to be mindful of what Google's algorithm says. And we can't just be what we call keyword stuffing and just kind of placing it all over a page in hopes that it ranks. So
what does help a website rank higher in Google?
That is a question a lot of us digital marketers hope to aspire to hopefully know the true answer. But Google has said there are over 200 different algorithmic factors to why a website ranks. So folks like me in the digital marketing space, we all just kind of speculate. We test, we throw up a few things here and there. A lot of baseline stuff I can give you is technical and then on-page content based. The technical stuff is
And
really...
updating.
Yeah, that's ongoing for sure, the marketing work. The technical side is, I'm just going to kind of glaze over it, but it's building building a house correctly, the infrastructure of the website, how it's organized, the site's architecture.
Like H1, H2 tags.
That's right.
Overused.
Things like that too. That's technical aspects of your content. And then the content on the pages, which include that, plus the keywords, which pages say what, which ones are service pages versus which ones are blogs and articles. That's a pretty key distinguisher.
Make sure every single image has all tags.
That's right. Do you know marketing?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
But this is for the audience. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go to it. And like talking to business owners who just want a website and online presence don't need to know all this. So any business owners listening, it is your role to understand the foundation of my website should rank for these terms that I want it to, but you should trust your partners who are digital marketing enthusiasts and experts to get you there. It's really not your role as an owner of a photography business or a healthcare professional to know what are the 200 algorithmic factors for Google.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's why we would want to rely on marketing experts. Now, as well as the technical aspects, what are some of the other ones that you mentioned again?
Yeah, the content stuff that we were talking about. Yep.
There was a third one, though.
Well, we can bucket it there for now, just kind of the two aspects of like the development of the site and then the content you have on the site. There's external factors too. So things like actually where I started in digital marketing, it's this really, really niche SEO optimization strategy.
Say backlinks?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It's called link building.
Yeah.
I would work full time to reach out to other websites and ask them for a link back to the site I was managing. Like getting links to your site is another algorithmic factor.
Or something like that.
Good.
because we put
Are
it
they quality?
into the metadata. Yeah, we put it into the metadata of our photos. And then when other websites publish those,
Then it's a link back to your site.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
little
Not
hack
bad.
there.
I do like that hack. I've
Yeah.
seen that with widgets too. So if you like have a cool widget on your site that could be used on another site, it includes a backlink to its original source. Yeah.
Cynthia, how did you get into digital marketing? Let's just start from there. From the backwards, I'm really fascinated by how you got the interest to pursue this and have a passion for it, and you're helping a lot of businesses out
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah,
what caused
Did you go to school for it too? Or?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It started, I think, where just my personal exposure to social media. It was when Facebook was starting to offer company pages when we were all just kind of kicking off in college,
Yeah.
and it was like a new thing. And I loved it. I wanted to help businesses grow their presence on social. But with the influence of my brother too, he's like, there's more to helping a business than their social pages. It's their websites. So from there, it grew into an interest in SEO, an interest in optimization, analytics, the backside of things, and why things perform the way they perform. What are these algorithmic factors? And now my role is the broader scope of digital. So it's social, web, email, link building. You could, add its own thing.
Retargeting?
And ads. Yes. So ads on social, ads from Google.
No, but retargeting.
Yeah, retargeting would be considered in your ad support. So
like ad roll.
Mhm,
Have you ever heard of ad roll
Ad
or
roll.
taboola?
Mm-mm.
Do you ever go? Actually,
Yeah. When we get back, guys, we'll continue talking about digital marketing. I hope you're getting a lot of insight and getting educated. Really appreciate you guys listening. We'll be right back. All right, guys, and we're back to Happy Hour Holidays, and we were over here where Cynthia was trying to explain herself, and Sean thinks he knows better. So we were kind of talking about ad roll.
well, yeah, we were talking about ad roll and taboola. They're retargeting ads. If you ever go on a website and you click accept cookies, and then all of a sudden you go to your Facebook or social medias and you start seeing ads for that website you just visited, is what retargeting ads do. Google also does it, but they do it at a less scale than these companies do, and it's much cheaper as well.
Yeah. There's tons of great third-party tools like that is always even part of a challenge as a business owner or the person who's in the agency to recommend. You got to test these out. You got to do them yourself. And for the business owners who hear new tools like this and new products, I don't advise doing it yourself first. Talk to someone maybe who has used it, another business owner like you guys that have invested in it and have seen results, or bring it to the agency you're working with, bring it to the digital marketing consultant you're working with and ask them, can you prove that this is valuable for my business or not? And you take on that risk as a business owner to try these new kinds of tools because there are so many to choose from for all kinds of marketing strategies.
So one thing that you can do in order to gauge the success of said tool is have conversion tracking.
100%.
So first and foremost, if a marketing company does not provide conversion tracking, then they're just taking your money. That's literally what it is. Have you set up a lot of goals for conversion tracking? And if so, do you ask them what you want or what they want you to track? Because what I see as a conversion is a sale or as a phone call. Some might see it as just landing on the page and adding something to their cart. So how do you conversion track?
Sean, I swear you could just do this for me. You know these answers. It's so
but
amazing.
It's for the audience, bro.
I hear you. Okay, I hear you. It's amazing. You're so knowledgeable because these are the questions that a lot of businesses don't know because they don't know how the websites work. And so it's like, I got a form and I got an email today. That's a lead. But we can also justify a spectrum of conversions.
Talking like top of funnel, right?
Well, how you would say, if it's a landing page, if it's a visit to a specific page that has a lot of value and it has done wonders to improve your brand presence, that can be considered a conversion. It's how you as a business owner find a visit to a contact page or a visit to our about page as valuable or not. And you can tell the marketing agency, I want to know how many times folks have landed on either of these pages. Let's call them this kind of conversion. This is like a softer conversion versus maybe a harder conversion, which is a form fill, which is picking up the phone and dialing the number or a contact form. Like those there you can measure success of campaigns on, I'm getting way too many of the soft conversions and not enough of these hard conversions, however you want to call them. So you need to also plan out and discuss with your digital marketing partner to ask, I want more of these or less of these too. You have control when you are managing ads. Ads are a exciting, part of website like optimization and tracking. It's so like there's so much data. It's immediate. It's really strong ROI in most cases if it's built right.
Do you see that a lot of AI has influenced, say, graphic designers to now being pushed out of that space for creating ad creatives?
Great question. I'm glad we're talking AI. AI was
because I love ChatGPT. I have the
This is the
01
best.
Pro mode.
well,
No,
for designers,
that's what it's called, the ChatGPT
01
01 Pro mode.
Pro
I paid
mode.
$200 a month for it.
Oh dear, no, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
My
You should
designers,
see what it does.
my designers can still design. I'm paying them just fine. And it's not $200 a month. So the design aspect of AI is still growing. Everything about AI is so new. I think we all see that. There's challenges still that everyone's facing. But what designers should be doing, if we have any designers listening, is jump into AI, start playing with the tools to see how we can help you. Because even if you're going to apply for a role as a designer in a company, you need to speak eloquently about AI. Even if it's, I'm new, but I'm trying and I'm learning and I'm investing in the future of design, to say, I've dabbled in this, I've tried that, I've created a unique ad with this. Designers should be investing in new tools like this. And the same thing with AI in other aspects of digital marketing. So in SEO, there's a shakeup going on, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen listening. There's a shakeup in AI right now.
How so?
In the fact that there's a lot of people now going to AI platforms for answers and not going to Google.
Yes.
OMG,
Like
what
Grok.
does that mean? What does that mean for all of us that have been working so hard for our websites to rank for those top 10 results? Now, AI overview is currently present in Google. That's just your answer. You leave, you're done. You're not clicking onto websites anymore. Are we going to see a dip in page views? Are we going to see a dip in conversions because of this?
That's 100%. The AI, you ask a question and the AI pops up right there and gives you the answer.
Why are you
right.
going to the websites
don't need to.
anymore?
Which means you don't go to the website.
Yes. So now
Unless you're looking to buy something.
That's right.
I think what you're talking about is less transactional.
Potentially. Yes,
Yeah.
potentially.
And
That's
somebody
what's the
who's
concerning.
researching.
Yep, the top of funnel in your marketing funnel. If y'all have ever taken a marketing class,
Because if I want to buy something, I'm going to the website and then buying it.
that's true. Product sales, e-com sales, you're ready to buy. Same with service
And
providers.
the AI overview does provide a link for you to get redirected to that website to still purchase.
It could, and that's what we're seeing in ChatGPT results, in Google's AI overview, in Microsoft's Copilot results. There are links because they want to say this is the resource or the source I am providing this to you for. So go here if you want more. But ultimately, I think we're all seeing the results and then just closing out the tab
100%.
and we're done. We don't need to.
But
We
only
don't
when
need
we're looking for information.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good qualifier.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
But it's a shakeup for us in the industry to think about, how do we help prioritize our marketing dollars, the marketing time we spend, and what we sell to our clients who are asking, I want to be first in everything. I want to be the top result in ChatGPT. I want to be the top result in Google, in Bing. And so we also have to come back to them. Okay, who has the largest share of voice? It's still Google. It still is.
Yeah.
It's predominant. But what is AI doing right now that we need to be mindful of and prepare for? The first thing I would say to business owners right now, do those service-based searches on ChatGPT, in Copilot, whatever other meta thing you want to do, AI result platform, and just see what's coming up. Just right now, very early on, start your searches, see what's coming up for those AI platforms and those results. Is there a place to compete? What does ChatGPT say? What does Copilot say? They may be completely different results. The challenging part for an SEO expert is, how do I understand that algorithm? How do I understand their rules for ranking? That's going to be what we're all looking into in 2025.
Yeah, but even when you were talking about the designers, I mean, ChatGPT is giving them a baseline instead of wasting so much time. Well, not wasting, but being creative, but also having something where, hey, now I got a baseline right off the bat and I can work with this instead of having to create this straight. Not to say they don't enjoy doing it, because I'm sure they enjoy creating that baseline and then asking the customer, hey, how do you want this modified?
It's just like with writers. Yeah. You can start. It's like idea generation. Yeah. Like, what are some headlines I could do for this? What are some key interesting facts that are important?
We don't show up.
Sean's like searching on the side here.
Well, I did exactly what you just said.
What did you search?
What are the top real estate photography companies in Tampa?
It's interesting you chose to do a top search. So top, best. There's so much to that, just like we would do in Google, that you're curious to see, am I ranking for that? Yeah. Do you rank for that search in Google?
Yeah, we do in Google.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good. But what's ranking?
I never thought, it's our homepage.
Your website? Okay.
Our homepage,
great.
Yeah. But I never thought, I mean, that was a fucking brilliant question about do it for ChatGPT, because a lot of people are getting information from that. So now we have to figure out how to fucking rank on ChatGPT. Jesus Christ.
Hire me now, CP Marketing and Co.
Close the book. Too easy.
That was just like led me right into that one.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's a question I've never heard posed before.
Yeah, you got to challenge these AI tools just like you challenge your marketing agencies to say, what am I doing? Why don't I see myself on Google? That is what most clients say. I'm searching. Why don't I see myself? We have many reasons to answer, ways to answer this, but that's usually what someone's looking for is my presence. Is it there?
Are you not upset every time one of these clients say, hey man, it's been 5 months. Why am I not first on the page? It's like, yo, your website at least needs to be around like 5 years old for you to get on that first page.
So you're absolutely right. It's a challenge. When you're a consultant or you're working in a space where you have a lot of eyeballs asking, reviewing and asking these questions, there's a challenge is that the web is dynamic. The answers are dynamic. The reasons one website ranks over another, it keeps changing every month. In fact, if you're lucky enough to stick at the top, then it might mean you have a less competitive market. It might mean you don't have other ads that are competing against your site. So many factors, inclusive of time. Like you mentioned, the time a website has been live or the time a certain page has been live.
And it wants updates. That's right. What it wants.
Yeah.
That's
so
why
we have to explain.
Huge. Blogs are huge,
Blogs
right?
help. Blogs help. Yeah. Yep. That's what a strong agency owner, digital marketing leader, digital marketing expert should be able to understand the why, so that you don't have to. As a business owner, you can ask me what the heck is going on, but I should be able to, hey, it's okay. Let's all stay calm. We don't have the Google machine to just change an algorithm. Let me walk you through this and explain what's going on so you feel more equipped and confident in our services too.
What do you think as far as questions to a digital marketing company should a business owner ask straight off the bat? Let's just say 3 of them.
Great. Wow. I wasn't prepared for this, Manny. Thank you. First one that comes
to
mind.
That wasn't ChatGPT, by the way. That was
First really solid question is, hi, agency. Have you worked in my helping clients like me in my industry? So photography. Do you guys have any experience helping rank other photography businesses? Show me examples. Same with web development. The different websites look different for different industries. And I need to know what a beauty med spa website should look like versus a restaurant or a therapist's website. So design and development too. I want to see that you have that portfolio. The client's going to want to see that you have that portfolio experience. So that would be one. One I would say is kind of similar to the conversions questions. Go for the jugular. Just be like,
yeah.
How do you track conversions?
And how can
just
you
stop
show
them? Yeah, stop them in the track so that someone in the agency should be like, great question, or I don't know. They need to be able to express, we track conversions this way on your website. As an e-com site, this is exactly how we're going to do it. As a service-based website, this is how we would do it. And so there should be solid answers for that. There should be no ifs, ands, and ums.
Because through Google Analytics, you literally can track the entire progression of a customer.
That's right. That's right.
Potential customer.
Yeah. That's why the website is so powerful to track so much and report so much. And there's a lot of insights there.
Even Facebook Pixel does it.
Yeah.
All the fucking social media.
All the social pixels.
As long as it's set up correctly.
You got conversions set
up.
up.
So what was the third question that a business owner should ask them?
Another one to just,
jugular, right?
I know.
Yeah. She went straight. After that, if they can't answer that question, you don't hire them.
Cut them. This would be a preference for just relationships. What is your communication style and how can I get a hold of you if something's wrong with my website?
Oh.
And the answer should be kind of a, oh my gosh, oh shit, my website's down and I need to reach you moment. Yeah. To, hey, I want to update a piece of content on my site. How do I get a hold of you? So your agency owner, a prospective agency, should be able to answer, you have either my cell phone number to answer, call me after hours, or I have a helpline after hours, or hey, here is my email that reaches your direct account manager. Should there be content edits? So a good spectrum of tier 1 to tier 3, like critical mass moments that you want to get a hold of your agency when potentially one of your most valuable digital assets has a problem.
That's absolutely right.
What about at like 3 a.m. in the morning?
You give them the reality check. You give them the reality check that I'm sorry that your website is going to be down at these hours.
But who's actually going on the website?
But there's two options. You could. That's one part of it is the reality check of there's nobody on your website, thankfully. And we've seen in your data that nobody is online. So we're confident that we can come back to this at 8 a.m. Or if you'd like a little bit off hours, we're talking 6 a.m. It's going to cost you this much for my team to be available at these hours.
Or hire a VA, right?
If you have the infrastructure built for the VA to support that, that could fix a website that's down, which I don't know if you have that. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not.
So
Probably not.
Giving them the reality check of your resources, like, hey, I'm a small team of 5. We can't offer that service. I'm sorry if that's what you're looking for, but we may not be the right partner for you. Or you're an enterprise global agency and it's like, no problem. Call us anytime.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you find to be like the biggest pain point for your clients when they first approach you prior to hiring your firm?
Their biggest pain point, like in their business.
Biggest pain point, yeah. Like they have gone through something that apparently they have to hire a marketing firm.
Usually, they're coming to us after already working with other marketing experts.
God, I can tell you,
and they're burned out.
A few, and we're like,
burned out.
And how should it's usually like a monthly fee, right? And then how often would you think that they should be working on your business? Maybe hours per week, or I mean, how do you usually judge that?
Yeah, I mean, every business offers services at different rates. So, whether it's a retainer or an hourly and anything in the middle, whether it's a package.
Monthly.
Yeah, it was monthly, but it was like they say, hey, we're going to work 30 hours a week on your page.
Yeah, which they didn't. I'm not gonna throw them under the bus.
No. But as a working,
you know who you are. Fuck you. We went to their office in Orlando. I'll drop that hint, and I can tell you they were a waste of fucking money.
But the agency or any marketing partner should be like, offering. Either they're going to customize the relationship for you and say, look, you're an extremely established business. We'd like to work with you. I'll give you this kind of hourly bank, or I'm going to cut you a deal on this package we sold you. So this is the expectation because of we want to work with you. So as an owner, you should know the expectation of the output, any marketer who's going to work with you to say, hey, I expect to hear from you within 30 minutes or within 24 hours when I submit a request. Why? Because you set the expectation at the onset.
Ours was a little bit different. It wasn't so much hearing from them in the communication because they communicated a whole fucking lot, way too much, in my opinion. It's just the action, the execution of their proposal wasn't too standard.
Yep, there you go. So not meeting the proposal expectations.
But we signed a contract for 6 months, so we were locked in. And it was like, oh God, I can't wait for this 6 months to be over.
Maybe that's something that's a really good point. But because again, here you are burned out from a terrible experience, that you need to revise contracts, that those terms and conditions protect you too.
It's a legal contract. I mean, that's fucking, to get it an addendum for that contract would have just been a pain in the ass.
Just have a corporate attorney, you know.
Yeah,
sure,
we got
if you
one.
can, you know, even if you can work with somebody and have them hourly, or if you have enough money to do a retainer, keep one on staff because
we have one.
It saves you so many times.
You want to shout him out?
Fantetti Legal, baby. I love you, baby. So, Cynthia, we really appreciate you coming on to Happy Hour Holidays. You've been nothing but knowledgeable, and also your story for the cross country was awesome.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
It was fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
I mean, it was definitely an adventure. The way you pretty much say how everything is, you should be like describing, I don't know what it is.
You should have a travel blog.
Yeah, travel.
Oh man.
But so what do you have to tell our audience as far as either motivation, you know, being a woman to be able to, you know, create this business and, you know, keep a full-time job? I mean, you're just doing so much.
Thank you.
And so
You have time, so it's not like it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so don't feel like you have to rush.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot to say.
Hurry up, hurry
A
up.
lot to unpack. No, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the kudos. Thanks for the time. I think a lot I would just like to bring here to share with anybody listening is for just to be an advocate for the females who are interested in starting their own business and juggling a full-time job. I am in a corporate space. I am in digital marketing, but I found that I was able to put my agency as more of a side business, let's call it, because of the amount of hours in the day I have. And because I've been able to run it so that I have a team in place and it's autonomous in itself, I don't need to spend too many hours anymore on it, thankfully. So I've got the full-time 40 hours, but then I'm probably putting like 10, 15 hours a month into the business. And the money goes to, you know, the team that I have built and set it up. And that was what I can advise for anyone looking into this is what are kind of some processes and some foundational things that you can set up so that you can build a bit of an infrastructure on your own while you are working full time or while you're juggling or debating this decision. So start with the basics. In fact, interview yourself as if you were your own business consultant. And I did that for myself too. It's who are the clients you want to serve? What are the businesses you're interested in? Who is your target, persona? Who is that perfect client that you'd love to work with? Write it down. That's the hard work, the homework that you should do for yourself. And that is something you can definitely do after hours, after you log off of job number 1 and open up the laptop for job number 2. Second would be, there are many, many resources out there that there are many women who are in your position too. Local plugs to some Facebook groups that have helped me are St. Pete Girl Bosses. These gals have exploded on Facebook groups. I was there on the early years when they got started in like 2018, 2019, and now it's skyrocketed to women across the Tampa Bay area who are entrepreneurs. Same with women in tech and entrepreneurship. This team of women who are just exploding across Florida, also just resources. So meet others who are just trying to connect with you too and or trying to grow their business too and connect with them. So those would be some options to start off the bat, spending some time on your own to balance things first, and then outreach, finding others who inspire you too.
That's as well said as you can say, Cynthia.
Thanks.
Thank you again so much for being on our podcast. We enjoyed the whole journey of everything.
You've been a plum-pleasing pleasure.
Oh, dear.
To quote Les Brown.
So appreciate everybody listening to Happy Hour Holidays. Keep tuning in. We're trying to educate you, motivate you to go out there and make your dreams come true. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace out.
Peace.